everybody, and welcome to Big Wood Brewing. I'm inside the brewery right now behind one of these great artistic doors. So I'm about ready to go in and talk to Jason and find out what makes their beer so great. So grab a beer, kick back with us, Prost. Inside Big Wood right now, and I am here with Jason, President and co-owner. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. First of all, welcome to White Bear Lake. Thanks for coming down. We appreciate you coming out, checking out the brewery. And, yeah, basically the brewery was started by my partner Steve back in 2009.
Okay.
And he was the president of the wood flooring distribution company over here in Vadnais Heights, not too far away. And basically he started, a typical brewer. If you ask a brewer, how they got started in the business, the typical answer is
home brewer.
Well, I was a home brewer for X amount of time, and I decided to go professional with it. Our story's a little bit different, and we're proud of that. So Steve, my partner, was actually the president of the Midwest's largest wood flooring distribution company. And everybody remembers what happened to the construction, or the country for that matter, back in 2009.
The big recession for some of our younger viewers.
The big recession, yeah. It was a tough time, and so basically, the morale was low, the construction industry got hit really hard, and Steve is one of these guys that loves to make people smile and loves to cheer people up. So he put in a small brew system, had some warehouse space, put in a small brew system to help cheer the guys up during the recession, and serve beer to the wood flooring contractors.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so the first year and a half or so of the brewery was basically that. It was basically brewing beer to cheer guys up during a hard time in our country. So
that's a great way to start. Do you know what the first beer that came out of that back office brewery?
Yeah, it was kind of funny because so if you look around in our brewery here, that have all of these doors that talk about this back office brewery that we had. Remember the show Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember when Shaggy and Scooby would be walking down a hallway and they'd come up on a bookshelf or whatever, and they'd pull the book and the bookshelf would spin around and reveal a secret passageway? That was the entrance to the first brewery. So if you walked into Steve's office, you'd be like, "Where's the brewery?" He'd reach back, he'd flip the bookshelf around, and it revealed.
So he had a prohibition door.
So we had a prohibition door. And the very first, to answer your question, the very first beer that was brewed on that system, I think we did ales in that time, and a nut brown ale. But the very first beer, I believe, was Morning Wood.
Okay.
Yeah, which is our coffee stout.
And it's one of your flagships too.
It's one of our flagships. It's our most awarded beer that we have. We've won 4 different best beer awards for that beer. So
now a lot of breweries in the area, I know they like to lead in with an IPA or with a hoppier note. What made you guys decide to go down that malty, chocolatey, coffee goodness route?
Well, IPAs are huge. I mean, there's no doubt, and I can see why breweries do that. We had kind of a fun name that fit with our brand. We had a really good coffee stout. It just it was the beer that we won our first award with. And so while we had a few beers at that time, it was the one that really jumped out and people really liked and people really were excited about. So that's what we decided to lead with. And it's just kind of what we've become known for, is that coffee stout. So not that we do a bunch of other beers that actually have a lot of fun with IPAs and stuff like that too, but
that's cool. So then when did you guys decide to open up this facility?
So if you remember, the first year and a half of Big Wood Brewery was really just brewing beer for the wood flooring contractors. And then when I got involved in 2011, Steve and I really started to kind of develop the plans. Where did we want to put the brewery? Figure all that stuff out, writing our business plan and so on. And we decided on White Bear Lake. I'm from the area, he was really close.
Yeah.
And so we decided, we kind of walked in, we looked in Northeast, we looked in a lot of different places and decided, let's stay close to home and be one of one in the area instead of, one of many. Not that there's anything wrong with our friends in the Northeast. There's a lot of great beer up there, and there's a lot of breweries up there.
You guys are starting to see some more breweries popping up over in this edge.
There is a lot more popping up on the St. Paul side of things, and that's good. We love it. The more the merrier. We're just all about Minnesota beer, and want all of our breweries to succeed.
Big Wood, where did the name come from?
That came from Steve.
Is there a story behind it? Or?
Well, the wood flooring, it comes from the wood flooring industry, and a sense of humor, of course. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We have a little fun. We don't have to be too corporate. It is beer that we're talking about, so we have a little fun with it. It's about the name is comes from the wooded state of Minnesota that we live in, and it kind of pays tribute to that a little bit.
It's a great name.
As well as a sense of humor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Steve has the best sense of humor of any guy I know. In fact, he actually hosts our comedy nights. So we have some stand-up comedy that we do in the tap room here.
How often do you guys do that?
We do it in the spring and then in the fall. So we'll be starting it up here in mid-October, November.
Okay.
And then we do it again in the spring, but we'll go for 6-8 weeks of that. And Steve hosts it. And so he loves to do stand-up, and so he has a great sense of humor.
Is it open mic or is it just?
Yep, it's open mic, so anybody can come sign. So if you think you're funny,
I know we're going to go into the rest of your brewery here in a little bit and talk about some of your equipment and stuff. But while we're standing here, and I've got these things standing in the background here, it's not every day I see copper anymore in a brewery. What made you guys decide to go with that nice, good German nostalgia feel to it?
I'm glad you noticed that. That was done on purpose. This building was built in 1906, and it's really a historical building. If you look around at our tap room and the brick and stuff that was in this brewery or in this building prior to it being a brewery, it had this really nostalgic feel. You walk down into our brewery, it kind of had that speakeasy kind of thing to it. So we wanted, when we were designing the brew system to put into the brew house here, we wanted something that really fit in with the area, with the old buildings that are in White Bear. And while this is relatively new, we wanted the brewery to look like it's been here since the building was built. So we went with copper, and that really has, and let it patina a little bit, and that really has kind of a cool, old school feel to it. And,
Absolutely.
And just wanted it to fit in with the decor of what we wanted to do. It's tough to keep clean though, I promise.
It is. So can you tell us a little bit about the facility? I guess the first question I always like to start out with is, can you tell us a little bit about what's your capacity right now?
Yeah, our capacity is, we can do about max a couple thousand barrels a year out of this facility.
How many per batch?
We have a 10-barrel mash tun and a 7-barrel brew system. So, we do a lot of small kind of R&D stuff here for the tap room, and that's mostly what we produce. What we produce here. We have 7 fermenters and 2 bright tanks here.
What's the most interesting beer that has come out of this facility?
I gotta say Forest Fire.
For our audience who is not familiar with that one?
Forest Fire, we've been brewing for a couple years, and it's an imperial rye.
Okay.
Smoked imperial rye, excuse me. And so it's got a lot of really unique flavors, and the rye really lends itself to almost a Scotch kind of peat mossy kind of flavor. I've never had a beer like this.
Okay.
And so it's one of the crazier beers that
What's
we've ever.
What's the ABV on that one?
ABV is 9.5%.
Almost is a Scotch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do a couple shots of that. But no, that's probably one of the funner, crazier beers, and a lot of people love it. It's it's got that. It's a smoke beer, but yeah.
But how long is the average beer take to make here?
Well, beer in general, takes about 21 days if you're making ales. Lagers are a little bit longer sometimes, but general rule of thumb is from brew to packaging, probably 21 days or so, on average. So
I know you guys decided to go with cans instead of bottles.
Yep.
What was the inspiration behind the cans?
The inspiration behind cans is actually pretty simple. I think it's a superior vessel, and there's a lot of data to support that. Cans, light ruins beer.
Yep, absolutely.
And no matter what, even if you're using the dark brown bottles, if you look at them in the light, you can still see light through them, and so a can doesn't. You don't have that. You don't have any light that gets through. So I think beers stay fresher longer. I like the look of a can a little bit better. You've got more real estate to tell your brand story and stuff like that. So I think it's just all around a better vessel for beer and craft beer especially.
So what do you got in the fermenters right now?
Well, we've got one empty right now. We just brewed our last batch of Oktoberfest. We have, right now we have Weisenheimer, which is our double decoction mash German Hefeweizen.
Is that out on tap yet?
It's not, well, we've had it on tap. We just brewed one we put one in the tank just recently because we ran out of it. But that's a really good beer. We brew it to German purity law standards.
The Reinheitsgebot?
Yep, exactly. So most people don't know what that is when you say that word. So
well, for our followers of our show,
our followers do.
Yeah, we brought that term up a couple times. So.
Yeah, so we have that in the tank. We also have Northern Belle, our peach saison, in the tank right now. We have a couple others that'll be out in short order here. A couple of new ones.
Now this is a fresh batch straight out of the fermenter.
Straight out of the fermenter.
Northern Belle, which is your peach saison.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah, I mean it's a farmhouse ale basically, and we brew it with peaches, and it's not overpowering on the peaches. It's got a little bit of peach flavor to it, just subtle. We like it that way. We don't like to go too over the top with any flavors, but yeah, we do use peaches in it, and yeah, we brewed this many times, so
now
this is a favorite, taproom favorite.
What's left to do with this one? So after it comes out of the fermenter,
it's basically, right now it's crashing, and we'll send it over to the bright tank and carbonate. This one is artificially carbonated, so we'll carbonate that in the bright tank and then keg it, and then let her sit for a little bit and chill out.
But all the saison flavors are there right now. It's not carbonated, obviously, but
you should get a little clove. You should get a little bitter orange peel, a little banana flavor from that Belgian saison.
It's all there. This is going to be a really good beer. I'm going to have to come out here when this one's done.
Yeah, well,
thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
We got a couple of beautiful looking flights sitting in front of us here, so I guess we're going to be talking about beers here next.
So let's talk beer.
Let's talk beer. So where do you want to start? So this is Bark Bite. Now I know this is one of your
this is one of your
regulars.
Beers. Yep, and this is brewed with Columbus Centennial hops. It's got a really great fruity characteristic to it. It's a little bit lighter color for an IPA. It's one of our best sellers.
Oh, it's really good. So it's got that nice. That nice hoppy flavor with that nice good grapefruit flavor.
Little grassy, little
bit of citrus.
A little bit of citrus, little grapefruity, but a lot hoppy. So
that's really good. I would put that up to any of the IPAs here in the state.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that. This is Board next, and this is our experimental series. So we do a whole bunch of different IPAs, and we just try them. So we usually just throw one in the tank. We don't have a name for it yet, and we just put it out in the tap room only to see what people like. And this is Board 4, so we've done 3 prior to this.
Okay, so if you want to get this one, guys, come on into the come on into the tap room before it goes.
Yep, exactly.
So what style was this one?
It's an India Pale.
This is India Pale.
India Pale Ale, and we just do different things with each batch. The next one that you're going to try is, we call it Fork, F-O-R-K.
Okay.
Just for clarification. And that is our very first India Pale lager that we've ever done. So this one's nice and light, but it's definitely, for a lager, it's got some hop flavor.
And I'm noticing that the fruity tones that you would normally get with an ale are toned back, but that's, I'm assuming, the lager process.
Exactly. Yep. They're subdued a little bit, but yet you still get, at the end, you get that little bit of bitterness and a little bit of punch. But it's a very clear beer.
Yeah, nice, good, straw, yellow color.
Yep.
That's really good.
And we don't filter any of our beers here, so.
So now I see we're getting into some of the more maltier ones here.
Yep, this next one is our Oktoberfest, which we lovingly call for Big Wood Brewery Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest, very fitting.
Yeah, exactly.
How long will this one be available for?
We're actually running down on this now, so we only have a few kegs of this one left. We've had it out for about a month now, and obviously this time of year, it's a super popular beer.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really good Oktoberfest. My first homebrew was an Oktoberfest, so
Was it?
and I have a real weak spot for it. You know, you never forget the first one you brew.
That's right.
So yours is much better than mine ever was.
Oh, hey, bring us a sample. Let's give it a shot.
So good color to it, and a lot of pop and fizz to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, really tasty overall. Very good balance between the hops and the multi flavors.
Yeah, it's you know, your typical Marzen style. So we have a lot of fun with that. We brew that every year, and we only serve it in the tap room. So
Okay.
this last one that you're gonna try here is called Big Black Wolf, and this is our black IPA. This is definitely one of my personal favorites. I'm a big hophead. I love good hoppy beers, and this one features the Chinook hop at the end.
The Chinook.
Yep. Yep. So it's got a little octane to it, and the IBUs are definitely there for the IPA.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's mellowed back, and especially instead of the caramel notes, I'm getting more of a roasted note.
Yep.
That you would normally get from an IPA.
Yeah, there definitely is that. The chocolate malts and the roasted malts.
So now we're moving on to your second flavor here.
Moving on to the second one, yep.
Okay.
So what you're going to start out with is Amigo Grande. This is our Mexican lager.
This one I'm really familiar with. I've seen this one in the stores quite a bit.
This one we have all over the place. It does really well for us, and we're kind of coming to the end now. We kind of run it April through October, end of September, early October. But it's a Mexican lager, very light, easy drinking. We brew it with maize, and we call it a Minnesota craft Mexican lager. We are really proud of that beer. We're really proud of all of our beers, but this one in particular because it is so refreshing. It's that lawnmower beer in the summertime that when it's hot out and you just want to crack a beer and you want to kind of slam it. That's that beer, but yet it has a lot of flavor. It's not it's not a Corona. So this is called Stump Splitter, and this is our Belgian style pale ale. So this one definitely has that Belgian notes to it because of the yeast, obviously. All right, so this is Jack Savage. This is one of our year-round beers. This is one of my favorite go-to beers. I love this beer. Again, there's 4 different hops in this: Cluster, Cascade, Columbus, and then we finish with Chinook. So it's going to give you a little tangerine flavor right up front, and then it's going to end with just a hint of pine, just ever so slight hint of pine. That's the dry hops. That's the Chinook hops that we dry hop the beer on at the end.
Okay, so we're here at number 4 now.
Yep, this one is Drevo, our Czech Pilsner, and we've been brewing this one for a while, and this is brewed with all Czech ingredients, all Czech malts, all Czech hops. It's one of those really light, easy drinking beers again. This is one of my personal favorites.
This is now one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I love that beer.
Do you guys brew this one to the Czech standard?
I mean, yeah, loosely. I mean, we use, it's not quite like Weisenheimer or Hefeweizen, but, we do use all Czech ingredients in that malt. So
it's I get out to Germany quite a bit, and so I'm kind of a bit of an expert when it comes to the Pilsners, and this one will rank right up there, right next to the German ones.
Oh,
this is
thank you.
really good. So
we really appreciate that. I love German beers too, and I love Czech beers. I've been to both Prague and Munich, and drank way too much beer in both those places. Finally, so this is what we call Utter Stout. This is a milk stout that we make, and it's on nitro. And again, this is one of those beers that I love to drink because it's an easy drinker. It's relatively low ABV. It's only 4.2%.
4.2.
Yep. So it's one of those easy drinking beers that you can slam. So if you like stouts and you like milk stouts,
very smooth.
It's very smooth. That the nitro adds to that too.
Yep.
It gives it that creaminess, that rich creaminess that everybody loves about milk stouts and nitro stouts. Early part of 2016, we're going to bring back Bad Axe, which is that's one of our flagship beers that we're known for. That's a 9.8%er. It's a big beer, and people love that beer, myself included. I honestly, that is my favorite beer that we do is Bad Axe.
Okay.
I'm an Imperial IPA. I'm a hophead, so I really like the hoppier stuff.
It shows in the line. It does.
Yeah, well, you gotta. We brew 27 different beers here now, and and we like to make sure that we cover kind of all the bases. We have red ales, we have saisons, we have Belgians. You know, we try to do everything: lagers, pilsners, IPAs, Americans, you know, stouts. So we really try to cover all the bases and try to offer people something, you know, a little bit different. Every time they come in, they can try something new. So
before we get into some of the audience questions here, I've been walking around. I've been seeing these amazing doors.
yeah.
And we'll cut in some pictures here and some close-ups of these doors here, just so you can see. It's like I'm walking into the Shire here.
Well, you remember from earlier in the interview my Scooby-Doo story, right?
Yes.
About our first door, the Scooby-Doo door that we had as the entrance to the brewery. So we had to have some great doors. That was kind of part of the whole brewery thing when we were seeking out this space. And now it just so happened that when we came in and found this space, it had all of these doors.
Oh, are you kidding me? All the doors here?
All of these cool doors, which you can shoot some pictures of, were here when we found this space, and it was kind of like...
What was the space beforehand?
Well, the building was built in 1906, and it started, you know, loose history here, what I've been told. It started as the original YMCA building in the city of White Bear.
So what did they need doors like this for?
I don't know. And then it became a meat manufacturing facility, and then it was a commercial laundromat, I heard, and then it was also an upholstery shop.
Okay.
And the owner of the building, Terry Kellerman, he owns the event center upstairs, he built these doors by hand. And found all this hardware and built these doors. So, but they're just super cool. I mean, you know, like look into the tap room. It's kind of reminds me of the Princess Bride here, you know. But yeah, we have 3 really cool doors, and it's kind of, you know, it's part of our culture, part of our foundation, part of what makes this cool. And it just so happens that Ty's a really short guy. Our brewer, Ty's a really short guy. So we always say, you know, when he goes through this door, he's coming from the Shire. So
that's awesome. Special thanks to our audience out there on Reddit. You guys were a big help on getting us some audience questions. So as I promised, if we read out one of your questions, we're going to send you some swag. So if you're listening to this, send me a private message out on Reddit, and we will get your info, and we will send you out some t-shirts. We got some coasters, keychains, and all sorts of other goodies to give you. So thanks for submitting these questions, and thanks to everybody for submitting these questions and watching our show. So our next question is from Throw Away, and his question is how much of your beer is contracted?
Actually, we do an alternating premise with agreement with 3rd Street Brew House.
Okay.
So it's a lot, you know, we basically timeshare that brewery with other breweries. That's where we do our canning. And you know what, we do a lot of our production beers are done up there, and we're not ashamed of it. You know, if I had $14 million in my back pocket, I'd build a brand new brewery, but we have to take the steps that we have to do to build our business.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, our next question comes from 008666246. Are you ever going to do special releases in bomber bottles?
Are we going to do special releases in bomber bottles? Yes, we are. We're working on putting together our 750 milliliter bottle program right now. And we, in fact, just bought a small little bottle line. And we're going to feature some of our taproom beers coming up here. So every month in 2016, we're going to do a different beer. And we're planning to do our taproom series and release those to the off-premise accounts or liquor stores as well.
That's awesome. And this one is also from 008666246. In the new 2x4 sampler pack, which is a great name for a sampler pack coming from Big Wood, what kind of beers can we expect for the Brewer's Choice?
That right now we've got Wicked X, which is going to be in there. For those of you that are Bad Axe lovers, Bad Axe will be in there, and that's going to be a really nice 2x4 pack when you get that one.
Nice.
And then we've done Amigo Grande, and basically we have a lot more to come. Right now those would be the 3 that you would potentially get in those variety packs, but we have a lot more to come, and we're planning on new releases here in 2016. So.
All right, and now our next question is from Da Chugs. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that, Da Chugs. I love Big Wood, and I know a guy that works for them. Ask them when they are going to start canning their fine beer.
Fine beer. Okay, so
There must be a little story behind you.
that one's a fun one because Steve, the other owner, and myself, we each brewed our own beer, and so Steve started it out, and we had this kind of agreement that we would each brew. Now, neither Steve or I are brewers. Okay, Ty is our brewer and Tim's our brewer, but Steve and I are the two owners. So we decided that we were going to each do a beer, and his is called Joe Challenger, and mine's called Fine. And the two that we brewed, we had rules, so we had to use all ingredients that we had never used in a beer.
Okay.
And so he brewed his, and I brewed mine, and so I don't know. I mean, the answer to that is I don't know when we're going to can that, to be honest with you. But I appreciate that.
Okay, and our last one is from L Train 17. L Train 17. What special considerations did you have to make, or what challenges did you feel you had when going to the suburbs?
I don't know if there's necessarily a challenge specifically to the suburbs in brewing, but there definitely is, there definitely is different challenges just business-wise, I mean, every brewery operates a little bit differently. Every business goes through their own challenges. I can't honestly pinpoint what would be specific to the suburbs with challenge, because we do pretty well. We have a lot of great customers who come into our tap room, and they come from all over the place. So, I think people now have become really open to driving to breweries. We don't just draw from the White Bear Lake area. We draw from all over the place. So we thought that might be a challenge to answer this question or her question. We thought that might be a challenge originally. Okay, we're in White Bear Lake. Are we going to get the Minneapolis people? Or is it just all going to be White Bear Lake people? The answer is we have people come from Duluth. We have people come from Mankato, from Rochester, from all different parts of the state to visit our brewery and drink our beers, which we love. Thank you for that, everyone. Appreciate that. But we thought that would probably be our biggest challenge, and it really has proven not to be an issue at all.
Thanks for joining us. It's been a real pleasure, Jason. Thanks for having us out here.
Thank you. I appreciate it a ton.
This was a great tour. You guys have some fantastic beers, and guys, they have a lot of unique specials that you can only get here at the tap room. So visit often, because I'm sure that menu changes up quite a bit.
It changes all the time.
So you guys have a beautiful tap room and a beautiful space. So come on out here, guys. You guys are missing one of the best breweries in Minnesota, right here in White Bear Lake.
That's very nice of you to say. Thank you so much.
So before we leave, don't forget, if you like this show, be sure to click that like button. And we're also available on many podcast directories as well as YouTube. So thanks for joining us. Prost.
Cheers. Yeah.